I just picked up one of the new tankless ultra high efficiency reverse osmosis systems. This one here promises a 2-to-1 ratio between the pure and the brine, and most systems are much less than that. They're even worse than 1-to-1. They're much closer to 1-to-2. So this is a far improvement, and this video here is just going to explain kind of what's lacking from the user manual, which is essentially how it works. So you're going to see here we have a thick 3/8 of an inch line, input line, and that's going to go behind this well insulated plastic cover for the motor, which is mounted with rubber shock absorbers on both the front and the back, so this should not make any noise. Even the lines themselves, which do vibrate, are actually insulated, so, and they typically transfer noise to the rest of the system. In this case they're not, and they're actually going to press against that foam. So very, very good job. It's a 24-volt pump. It's going to take 30 psi water and increase that psi to 100. It's then going to send it through that 1/4 inch hose into a proprietary manifold system. The proprietary manifold's then going to send it into this multi-purpose primary filter here, which actually satisfactorily removes very easily. You can see the size of this thing. And that's the connections on this. So this is definitely proprietary fittings. And it actually just snaps right back in there. And you give it a push, you can actually see it into that little hole there. And give it a rotate and it locks in nice and securely. And then you do the same thing with the reverse osmosis filter. You can see how big it is. And this thing is also really heavy. I've never plugged it in, so it's not full of water. And the thing probably weighs 2 pounds. So there's definitely a lot of stuff to it in comparison to the other ones I've had, which are fairly inexpensive. Most of these connections are all proprietary through this diaphragm system that moves the water in and out. The only parts that use standard push fittings are going to be the TDS sensors, which is these right here. They go up there and behind it, and they give you the TDS for the filter water and the reverse osmosis water. There's also a pressure sensor in there that is reusable if this thing were to break down the road. Otherwise, everything else is a connection like this here, where it's going to be press fit in, and it's going to have the same kind of connections that you saw on the filters and the reverse osmosis filter, which is, if I remove this reverse osmosis filter again, it's going to look like these right here. So that's what you're going to have. You're going to have your essentially your input line, and then your clean, and then your reject, or on that, or whatever order it happens to be in. I actually don't know, but it doesn't matter. You just have to buy those systems. So this is it right here with this extra piece of insulation, and you can also see these are the other 2 valves on the reversing side here. Everything is fairly accessible and put together very nicely. The quality of this build is substantial. It's heavy and solid and relatively easy to use, and I'm happy with the instructions, despite the fact that people thought they were complicated. And I just wanted to say that so far I'm quite happy with this. I haven't actually plugged this thing in yet, because if I did, all of this could be full of water. So I wanted to see what it was like without it, and I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a plug in, and that'll be part 2 of this review.